बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अस्सलाम वालेकुम फ्रेंड्स, उम्मीद करते हैं कि आप सब खैरियत से होंगे। फ्रेंड्स, आज के सेशन में हम डिस्कस करेंगे हाउ डू होस्ट एड्रेसेस वर्क। वीडियो की तरफ बढ़ने से पहले हमारी आपसे रिक्वेस्ट है कि हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दें। चलें बढ़ते हैं आज के सेशन की तरफ। इन कंप्यूटर नेटवर्क्स IP एड्रेसेस आर डिजाइंड ऑन इंटरफेरेंसेस एंड इंटरफेरेंस कनेक्ट्स अ कंप्यूटर और a networking device to the network. In a computer network, all interfaces must be configured with unique IP addresses. If two or more interfaces are configured with the same IP addresses, the network will not work. Let's understand it through an example. In a computer network, four computers named C1, C2, C3, and C4 are connected. All computers are configured with the same IP addresses. The configured IP addresses is 4.4.4.4 by 8. C1 sends a data packet to C4. Since the IP address of C4 is 4.4.4.4 by 8, C1 sets the destination addresses in the packet to 4.4 4.4 by 8. The packet reaches C2, C3, and C4. They check the destination addresses of the packet to know whether the packet is intended for them. Since the destination addresses of the packet matches with the IP addresses configured on their interfaces, they all assume that the packet is intended for them and they all process it. After processing, C2 and C3 realizes that the packet is not intended for them and they discard the packet. C4 accepts the packet, and if C4 sends a reply packet, the reply packet will also follow the same path and will be processed by C2 and C3 unnecessarily. The following image show this example. If a busy network here interfaces process millions of the packets per second, an overlap of IP addresses can bring the entire network down. To avoid such a situation, computer networks use a unique IP addresses on each interface. Let's take our example network again and make all IP addresses unique. To make all IP addresses unique, change their host addresses. For example, you can set the new IP addresses of C1, C2, C3, and C4 to 4.4.4.1 by 8, 4.4.4.2 by 8, 4.4.4.3 by 8, and 4.4.4.4 by 8, respectively. After this change, when C1 sends packets to C4 and the packet reaches C2, C3, and C4, only C4 processes the packet. C2 and C3 immediately discard the packet because the destination addresses of the packet and the IP addresses of their interfaces are different. The following images show how a host address network in the network. How do network addresses work? Just a host addresses provides a unique identity to the interfaces in a subnet. A network addresses provides a unique identity to the subnet in the network. A network addresses is the common address of all the interfaces that belongs to the specific subnet. Let's take an example to understand how network addresses work. In a network, four subnets are connected. Network addresses of these subnets are 1.1.1, 2.2.2, 3.3.3, and 4.4.4. Each subnet contains 6 PCs. Host addresses of PC1, PC2, PC3, PC4, PC5, and PC6 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 respectively. In IP addresses, network addresses are always written before host addresses. If we write the network address before the host addresses of a PC, we will get the PC addresses of that PC. The following images shows that the process is in our example network. Hosts or PCs or different subnets cannot communicate or exchange data directly. To connect different subnets, routers are used. Routers are networking devices that connect different subnets or networks. Routers store the network addresses of all available subnets in their routing tables. If a computer wants to send a data packet to the computer that belongs to another subnet, it sends the data packet to the gateway router. Gateway router is a router that connects the subnet to other networks of the subnet. Of gateway router forwards the data packet to the router that is connected to the destination subnet or know how to reach the destination subnet. To forward data packets, routers use only network addresses. Let's understand it. Though our examples are example network is divided into 4 subnets. To connect these subnets, 4 routers R1, R2, R3 and R4 are used. R1, R2, R3 and R4 are connected to the first subnet, and second subnet, third subnet and the fourth subnet respectively. Now response PC1 of the first subnet sends a packet data to PC6 of the fourth subnet. PC1 sets the destination IP addresses in the packet of the 4.4.4.6 by 8, and in these IP addresses 4.4 is the network addresses of 6 is almost addresses. तो फ्रेंड्स ये था हमारा आज का सेशन. मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो में. अल्लाह हाफिज़.